What if I told you that Messi and Ronaldo played on the same team? Not in some FIFA career mode dream save, I mean every single year, on purpose and for fun. So welcome to a world where European football has an all-star game. Yep, like the NBA and like the NFL, but instead of mid-season injuries and managers crying about fixtures congestion, we get pure vibes. Would it work? Honestly, probably not. Would we all still watch it? 100%. Would it pull 400 million viewers and become the most watched friendly in human history? You bet your 2011 Ballon d'Or shortlist it would. Now, before you scream, this would ruin football, relax. This is just the first episode in a whole series where we play mad football scientists, imagining the cursed brilliance of a proper all-star match. We are going to cover why this thing doesn't exist and might never exist, why surprisingly it could work with the right format, how other sports like baseball, hockey and the NFL figure it out, and the dream lineups we'd die to see. And if you are the type of person who argues about who made the 2013 UEFA Team of the Year, you are in luck. We'll be diving into full all-star rosters by decade in future episodes, the 2010s, the 2000s, the 90s, all of it. And full eerie breakdowns over on Patreon where I'll be doing individual all-star games by the year. But for now, let's entertain the dumbest smart idea these sports ever avoided. What if football had an all-star game? One match, once a year, no clubs, no stakes, no chill either. Just charity, ego and the filthiest nutbags known to man. And hey, if you are enjoying this already, hit that subscribe button because it really helps me make more of this stuff for you and keeps this whole series of alternate sport scenarios alive. Alright, so if this idea is so fun, why hasn't it ever happened? Here's the honest answer. Football is built different, not in the alpha male podcast way, I mean structurally. The calendar is a landmine, the politics are a dumpster fire, and the clubs? They'd rather eat glass than let their star players show up to a glorified friendly. Now compare that to the NBA, which is basically a dictatorship, and I mean that in the best way possible. The league controls the players, the teams, the scheduling, the media rights, everything. If Adam Silver wants an all-star game on a floating court in the Bermuda Triangle, it happens. And that's how they pull it off mid-season every year. And in football, not so much. UEFA doesn't control the clubs. FIFA barely controls itself. The Premier League doesn't care what La Liga wants, and vice versa. Try organizing an all-star game in that mess. And that's not even the real problem. The real issue is the culture. Because European football is a religion with centuries of tribal loyalty. It's about the club, the badge, the city. Not the player, not the glitz, and definitely not the halftime entertainment. In the United States, sports revolve around individuals and showmanship. It's all about who you support, LeBron, Mahomes, Curry, not necessarily what team they are on. That's why all-star games are normal. That's why they have drafts, celebrity games, dunk contests, flag football, player intros with fireworks, and of course the Super Bowl halftime shows, which is basically a global concert that happens to be interrupted by football. Europe tried a little bit of that. Remember the Champions League final pre-match concerts? They brought out Dua Lipa, then Camila Cabello, and the fans absolutely hated it, drowned it out with chants, because when Real Madrid and Liverpool are about to clash, no one wants a pop concert. They want kickoff, they want tension, they want history. This is a continent where a third division derby means more than a multi-million euro exhibition. So yeah, culturally an all-star game goes against the very DNA of football as it's understood in Europe. Add to that the fact that footballers already play too much. By March, half of them are limping, icing hamstrings and praying their managers don't schedule another light recovery session. The idea of flying them out for one more match, a match that doesn't even count, yep, that will go over well. And then there's the injury risk. Nobody's risking a torn ACL just so Mbappe can throw a no-look nutmeg at Nuno Mendes in a vibes-only friendly. Other sports though? The Major League of Baseball nailed it. The game is chill, low risk, the sport lends itself to it, and no one's blowing out their knees standing in right field. The NFL pivoted to flag football, and it's fun. No concussions, just guys messing around. Surprisingly, a great move. And is genuinely fun to watch. The National Hockey League, the Four Nations mini tournament, is legit loved by fans. It's competitive, fast, and still doesn't feel like anyone's risking their spine. And the NBA, absolute shell of itself. Players barely try, defense is illegal nowadays because players are not even trying to play somewhat competitively, and it's turned into a 3-hour layup line followed by everyone leaving before the fourth quarter. So yeah, logistically, a football all-star game sounds like a fever dream with lawyers. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. Okay, so we have established that a football all-star game makes no logistical sense, would be hated by traditionalists, and probably it would give club managers nightmares. But now let's argue the opposite, because here's the thing, football's already halfway there. In football we have the UEFA Super Cup, a glorified one of friendly, but it makes sense because the UEFA Champions League winner meets the Europa League winner, the Club World Cup, basically football's version of a vibes tournament sponsored by airline money, and the charity matches, players already show up for those, they just need a bit of branding and a trophy that looks shiny in photos. So what's the fix? You hold it once a year after the Champions League final at the end of the season, one last game before players head off to their luxury recovery spas in Dubai. Frame it as a charity celebration, not competition. Money earnings go to families in need, grassroots football, maybe even youth development. Make it emotional, make it feel important, and make it fun. No national teams, no club loyalties, just a one-off event. Let fans vote, let UEFA pick the format, let Nike make ridiculous kits no one ever wears again. And crucially, don't pretend it's serious. Lean into the show, bring back legends as coaches, add minigames, skill contests, behind the scenes content, and winning the All-Star Game MVP becomes a badge of honor. Something players actually want, a flex. Imagine All-Star Game MVP Messi or Ronaldo, or Haaland scoring 5 and getting roasted by Ibrahimovic in the post-match. Imagine Messi, Ronaldo and Ibrahimovic on the same team, having fun and playing football together. Not for a commercial, not in a testimonial, in a game that people around the world are actually watching live. And the result? Massive TV ratings, social media chaos, TikToks, memes, interviews, a match everyone watches, not because they have to, but because it's fun. So no, it wouldn't be easy, but done right, a UEFA All-Star game could be football's versions of the Super Bowl, minus the commercials plus more diving. Alright, so let's say UEFA finally gives into the chaos and greenlights an All-Star game. Now the question becomes, how do you format this thing without making it a disaster? So let's go through a few formats that could actually work and make people care. The first format I will be presenting is the UEFA Champions League winners versus the best 11 of the rest. This one is clean and easy. Take the Champions League winning club like Real Madrid and have them face an all-star 11 from the rest of Europe. It gives you continuity, prestige, and a real incentive for the UEFA Champions League team to prove they are not just lucky, they are the best. It's got built-in storylines, champions versus challengers. This isn't even hypothetical. United did something similar in 2007 versus a Europe 11. Ronaldo scored a ridiculous free kick. The visuals from that match are pure nostalgia fuel. A second possible format is an Europe 11 versus the rest of the world 11. It's simple, classic, and has that nice Pro Evolution Soccer menu screen vibe, and it's great for showcasing global talent without the nationalism of the World Cup. And the third format is the draft format, and this might be the best option of all. Pick the top 2 Ballon d'Or finalists as team captains, then let fans, players and managers vote on a pool of 40-50 top performers. From that list, the captains draft their own squads live. This format solves so many issues, avoids league politics, fans feel involved, captains picking teammates creates drama and memes, and suddenly you've got Messi and Salah versus Mbappe and Ronaldo in a match that everyone tunes into. Also, East versus West could work too. West could be represented by Premier League, La Liga, Ligue 1 and the other Western nations, and the East by Bundesliga, Serie Serie A, Super League and the rising Eastern European squads. Sure that the East is less dominant right now, but that's the fun. Underdogs, regional pride and surprise picks. Also for the All-Star game to work, you must host it in rotating cities. Madrid one year, Istanbul the next, maybe Paris or even Budapest. Let fans see their rivals play together, sell out stadiums and build narratives that only exist for one night. Because football has the stars, it just needs the courage to have fun with it. Alright, so we have talked about formats, rules and the structure. Now let's get to the part everyone secretly came for, the fantasy lineup. Because imagining Messi and Ronaldo starting together is every football fan's dream. So let's play a little game. It's 2011, the Ballon d'Or night. Messi wins the Ballon d'Or, Ronaldo comes second, but this time, instead of just applause and forced smiles, they get handed captain's armbands. Because this year, they are not just rivals, they are drafting their own teams. The 2011 UEFA All-Star game is on. In the weeks leading up, fans voted on every position: goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and forwards. Managers submitted their ballots, national team captains cast their picks, and from all of that, a top 50 shortlist is locked in. Now it's go time. Messi picks first. No surprise, he goes with Xavi. Ronaldo fires back with Rooney. Then comes Iniesta for Messi, Özil for Ronaldo. You can already feel the style splitting up. Here's how it ends up. In Team Messi we have Neuer in goal, Marcelo, Lam, Piqué in defense, Xavi, Yaya Touré, Iniesta and Busquets in the midfield, and Leo Messi, Sergio Aguero and Diego Forlan up front. For Team Ronaldo we have Casillas in goal, Sergio Ramos, Evra, Vidic, Thiago Silva in defense. In the midfield we have Fabregas, Xabi Alonso, Wesley Sneijder and Mesut Ozil, and up front Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney. On the sidelines, Pep Guardiola takes charge of Messi's side naturally, and Sir Alex Ferguson leads Ronaldo's. You already know they are sniping at each other during the coin toss. And when that whistle blows, it's not about league titles or Champions League rankings, it's just the best footballers in the world playing against each other for bragging rights and MVP honors. Who wins doesn't matter, the real win is that we finally got to see this madness. And if you want to go even deeper, every single year, every lineup all the way from the 90s to today, that's what I'm doing over on Patreon. You will get to vote on the matchups, help decide captains, and we run Q&As to build out the full All-Star series together. Links down below if you want to join in. So, could a football All-Star game ever actually happen? Probably not. The politics, the calendars, the egos, it's chaos waiting to happen. But that's the beauty of it, because just imagining Messi and Ronaldo drafting teammates, or Zidane and Nedved squaring off in 2003, or Mbappe and Haaland leading opposite sides in 2025, that's what makes this fun. It's a reminder that football isn't just about results, it's about stories, about what could have been, and sometimes the wildest what ifs tells us just as much about the game as the things that actually happened. Now I want to hear from you. What's your dream format? East versus West, Champions League winners versus the rest of the world, or do you just want to see Messi and Ronaldo drafting their own teams? Drop your lineups and ideas in the comments, I'll be reading them all. This was just the kickoff. If you enjoyed it, next up we'll cover the 2010s, an entire decade of all-star lineups, drama and fantasy football chaos. And if you're into this kind of madness, like the video and smash that subscribe button. It really helps me, helps the channel and keeps this series alive, because trust me, this is only the beginning. Also drop a comment on what team, moment or event you want me to rewrite next. See you in the next one.